James for the untouchable, true school sports. Let's go, baby. Bow!
Be careful what you wish for because it can become a reality.
Yeah. All right, Brendan Taylor here, True School Sports. I'm with Glen Jennings, the manager. Tim, Glenn, good to see you again.
Hey, Brendan, great to see you, mate.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You got a really interesting fight coming up with Bakhram Murtazaliev, IBF champion. What do you make of it? Because he's not really a known quantity here in America, but what do you make of the fight?
Oh, he's very well known to us. We've had a good look at him. We know that he's not what you call a household name in boxing terms, but he's a IBF world champion. You don't get that strap without some credentials, so we know what to expect. He's a tough dude. Any one of the Eastern Bloc Soviet guys, they all come with that background or that DNA of they're tough guys. So we're expecting a tough fight. We're very confident Tim can take care of him, but we are with everybody that Tim fights.
Yeah. How do you feel about him, I guess, coming off that big cut? That's been a big point of discussion. How do you feel about him?
Yeah, it's interesting. It's still a big chat about over here. Not so much at home. It's done and dusted. We move on very quickly. Tim just wants to keep on fighting, and a lot of people question our decision with Valdez so soon after that cut. And we were ready to go for Valdez. We were over here in camp for it, and we just couldn't get that damn clearance on that wound. So we bounced straight back off the back, went straight back to work, and got him this one. So it's past news for us now, and we just use that as another positive to move forward on.
Okay. I know a lot of was made also about Turki Alalshikh going at Tim, and it was a bit of alarming to me because you guys struck me as very easy to work with. What was the whole deal with that, you and Turki?
Look, it was mostly Turki dealing with the promoters' side, not so much with the team side.
Okay. So like no limit boxing, was it?
Yeah,
with them?
There were some discussions. They weren't long. It was very quick, but the reality is that Tim's a little different. We're a little different as a group. We already have a roadmap in place for Tim, and so with that in mind, it's very difficult to persuade me to go somewhere else
off the roadmap. You know?
And to cross over to another area that we've not been into. Not saying we won't. We'd love the opportunity to work with them, but it has to be sort of on our terms, not necessarily all on their terms. But look, that's the next thing. We negotiate these things through. There's no bad blood or anything from our side. If the opportunity arises and it works, we look at it. But right now, we've got a very good plan for Tim for 2025. So it's going to be a pretty exciting time.
Okay. I know you probably can't reveal that plan, but I was kind of hoping. Does that plan still include a Vergil Ortiz fight? Maybe.
There's a lot of names in that basket, and they're all. The nice part is they're all available, and they're all hopefully all prepared to fight. The difficulty you have with someone like Tim who wants to fight, 4 times a year, is the availability of the other fighters, and it's well known that some of the names that we've been chasing for some time just aren't available. They just don't fight, and 1 fight a year doesn't work for us.
Yeah.
So. Absolutely, Vergil Ortiz is in the mix. They all are. There's no 154s that aren't in the mix. If they want it, and they genuinely, it makes sense to us, and it moves us forward, and commercially it's right, that fight will happen. But the negotiations often don't get past the first point because they're just not available.
Okay. So it's a matter of just timing.
Yeah. And there's also this other little funny one that you might get a giggle out of is that it seems bizarre to me, but one of the first questions I have to ask is, perhaps if we wanted to go back in front of Tim's crazy fan support in Australia, can they actually get to Australia? Do they have a passport?
Yeah.
Do they have a felony on their record? Is there? And you'd be surprised how many of them cannot travel.
Really?
And can't get into our country because they're very tough on immigration to bring people in that have got. If you've got a felony record, you can't come in. You've got to have a passport, and a lot of them don't. And it's bizarre, but look, if it doesn't mean that they have to come to Australia. Tim will fight them anywhere, anytime, and that's the reality of Tim Tszyu. He has no fear of any of them. He's ready to go. It's just getting them in the ring.
Okay. What percentage of the guys that you negotiated with over the years to say like what percentage of those guys can't come to Australia because they have a felony or don't have a passport?
It's not always the guys. I feel a bit sorry for some of the fighters. It's quite often their coaches and real important members of their team that can't travel, so they just say no. In terms of what percentage that would be, it's higher than I'd like it to be, but it certainly doesn't change. It doesn't stop us from fighting them. It just means that we come across here and take care of it here. And so that's the first part, the first phase, and then you go into the next phase, and that's pretty much hand it over to the promoters to go. I give them a list of guys that we'd like to fight, and then they've got to try and make it happen. So I don't get involved in promoters' business. I manage the fighter, and so long as I get the deal that I want for Tim and the team going forward, and it ticks all the boxes, we're good to go anytime.
Okay. There's a fighter in the weight class below, in Jaron Ennis. You know, they say there's not a whole lot of fighters there for him, and you know, a lot of people want to see him move up to 54. If he does move to 54 in the near future, is that a fight you would entertain? Yeah.
Come on up, Jaron. Come on. We encourage them all. We encourage Errol Spence, Terence Crawford. Come on up. Tim Tszyu's here. We had a setback with Fundora with that awful cut. And at the time of the cut, I thought Tim was very much dominating that fight, and we expected to come home, you know, champions, and it didn't happen. But that doesn't stop us. We just shake it off, get back to the gym, have a good chat about it, and move on. So we're not cocky by any means. This is who we are, and this is how we do business. Come on, you know, if you come to 154 and it makes sense and we can make it happen, absolutely. And I'd be happy to give that list with all those names to the promoters and say, make it happen.
All of them. All of them. Yeah. Okay. You were his dad's manager. You managed him, so I want to get your take on the whole thing, the training in Thailand they did. Did you see that? And
yeah,
what did you think about it?
I did. I thought it was amazing. It's great to see Kotsya and Tim getting together. He lives in Moscow, and it's not an easy task with everything that's going on in the world scene.
Yeah.
To get him to grab his bags and move and go and do all that sort of stuff. But I stay in touch with him very regularly. He's a great mate. He's 54, by the way. It seems we're all getting old, but he showed in Thailand that he's still got the moves, and he still stays fit. And he follows Tim's career from a distance, and that works for us. We're happy. But of course, he's for me the GOAT. He's the top of the tree for the boys, and I manage Nikita also, so they know that for them to achieve what their dad's done, if they could do half of what their dad did, they'll be doing really well. But I think it's wonderful that there's still that opportunity to do some bits and pieces with him, and Thailand is a great place to do it.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah, it was cool.
Yeah.
It was cool.
All right, Glenn, but any final message to the boxing world about Tim's fight with Murtazaliev?
Bakhram, we know Bakhram's going to bring this fight. He's the champ, and we have to take his belt from him. So Tim's had a great camp. It's been a long camp here in America, but everything, touch wood, has come to fruition. We look forward to a great fight, and as I always say, I hope both boys come out of it healthy and wealthy and wise, and we move on to the next one. And just stay tuned, because once we start getting a couple of straps back under the belt, Tim Tszyu will be unstoppable. So he's going to be the guy to follow in the 154s, and we'll tidy that up, and then we'll see if we go and have a look at what's happening at 160.
All right, Glen Jennings, thank you. Thank you for watching another video on the untouchable True School Sports Empire. I'm at the Boxing Hall of Fame out here in Canterfield, New York. And for more great boxing content just like this video, make sure you click and subscribe right over here.